Listen to me carefully, because this might be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. You're losing perspective, you're losing focus, you're losing drive. You forgot who you were when you started. You forgot what lit the fire inside your chest. You forgot the why. You used to wake up at 5 a.m. Now you hit the snooze button 5 times, roll over and scroll through your phone for an hour like it's part of your morning routine. You used to schedule your day down to the minute. Now your calendar is empty and your excuses are full. You told yourself you read for 30 minutes a day to sharpen your mind. Now your screen time says you're spending 4 hours a day watching TikToks of people who are actually doing the work you said you wanted to do. You used to journal every night, hold yourself accountable, reflect, plan. Now you don't even know where the journal is. Remember when you used to do those intense solo workouts, grinding, sweating, pushing past your limits? Now you're skipping sessions because you're tired. But somehow, you're never too tired to binge watch an entire Netflix series in one night. You used to move like someone on a mission. Now you're just moving your fingers, scrolling through distractions while life passes you by. You said you wanted to change your life. What happened? This isn't just about sleeping in or skipping a workout. This is about letting the old you die without building the new you. You used to be hungry. Now you're comfortable, and comfort is killing your potential. You don't need a new strategy. You don't need another motivational quote. You need discipline. You need remembrance of who you are, what you came from, and what you said you are going to become. The grind doesn't care how you feel. The clock is still ticking. And while you're distracted, someone else is catching up. Someone else is outworking you. Someone else is building what you said you would. So wake up. This is your reminder. Get back in the fight. Because if you don't, you will wake up one day and realize you've been busy doing nothing, watching your dream die in high definition. Remember who you are. Heavenly Father, I come before you with an open heart, humbled and honest. Lord, I confess I have been distracted. I have been giving my time and energy to things that are stealing my focus, draining my spirit, and pulling me away from my purpose. I've been wasting hours on my phone, chasing dopamine instead of discipline. I've been procrastinating on the work you place in my hands. I've been sleeping in when I should be seeking you. I've been letting comfort silence my calling. God, help me identify my distractions clearly, boldly, without denial or excuses. Name them to me. Lord, show me the things, the habits, the people, the thoughts, even the fears that are quietly pulling me off track. And then, Lord, give me the strength to walk away. Give me the power to say no to what is killing my potential. Give me the clarity to choose growth over comfort, purpose over pleasure, destiny over distraction. Strengthen my will, sharpen my focus, realign my heart with yours. Lord, remind me daily where I came from and where you're leading me. And when I am weak, when I stumble, when I forget, pull me back, convict me, correct me, but never let me go. I surrender every wasted moment, every missed opportunity, and every distraction to you. Fill that space with discipline, fire, hunger, and peace. Thank you for never giving up on me, even when I gave up on myself. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe, I've been cooking up
I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way.
Doing tough things daily requires a tough mind. Unfortunately, most people lack one. Hence the inability to stay consistent and disciplined with regards to pursuing their dreams. But today we will be turning a new page, a new opportunity for you to compose your story. And for an efficient and successful progression, say the following affirmations calmly and quietly. I am disciplined, even when no one is watching. I wake up with purpose, not excuses. I do hard things because they shape who I am. I am not my distractions. I am my decisions. I show up for myself every single day. My time is valuable and I use it wisely. I am building a future worth fighting for. I say no to comfort and yes to growth. I am focused, locked in, and unstoppable. My habits align with my vision. I am not who I was. I am who I am becoming. I overcome procrastination with powerful action. I don't need motivation. I have commitment. I move with intention and clarity. I keep promises to myself. I control my attention. I refuse to be owned by distractions. Every small win is a step toward my destiny. I am capable of relentless focus. I am not waiting for the right moment. I create it. I silence doubt with action. I work while others sleep. I train while others rest. I am a finisher, not just a starter. I was made for more, and I am living like it. I master my day before it masters me. I am focused, favored, and fired up for my purpose. You can now open your eyes and remember to say these truths daily to keep yourself grounded and focused on your mission. Now, let's look at the stories of true men who push their luck. 3. Never enough. When rich people do crazy things. John Bogle, the Vanguard founder who passed away in 2019, once told a story about money that highlights something we don't think about enough. At a party given by a billionaire on Shelter Island, Kurt Vonnegut informs his pal, Joseph Hiller, that their host, a hedge fund manager, had made more money in a single day than Hiller had earned from his widely popular novel Catch-22 over its world history. Hiller responds, "Yes, but I have something you will never have. Enough." Enough. I was stunned by the simple eloquence of that word. Stunned for 2 reasons. First, because I have been given so much in my own life. And second, because Joseph Hiller couldn't have been more accurate. For a critical element of our society, including many of the wealthiest and most powerful among us, there seems to be no limit today on what enough entails. It's so smart and so powerful. Let me offer 2 examples of the dangers of not having enough and what they can teach us. Rajat Gupta was born in Kolkata and orphaned as a teenager. People talk about the privileged few who begin life on a third base. Gupta couldn't even see the baseball stadium. What he went on to achieve from those beginnings was simply phenomenal. By his mid-40s, Gupta was CEO of McKinsey, the world's most prestigious consulting firm. He retired in 2007 to take on roles with the United Nations and the World Economic Forum. He partnered on philanthropic work with Bill Gates. He sat on the board of directors of 5 public companies. From the slums of Kolkata, Gupta had quite literally become one of the most successful businessmen alive. With his success came enormous wealth. By 2008, Gupta was reportedly worth $100 million. It is an unfathomable sum of money to most. A 5% annual return on that much money generates almost $600 an hour, 24 hours a day. He could have done anything he wanted in life, and what he wanted, by all accounts, wasn't to be a centimillionaire. Rajat Gupta wanted to be a billionaire, and he wanted it badly. Gupta sat on the board of directors of Goldman Sachs, which surrounded him with some of the wealthiest investors in the world. One investor, citing the paydays of private equity tycoons, described Gupta like this: "I think he wants to be in that circle. That's a billionaire circle, right? Goldman is like the hundreds of million circle, right? Right." So Gupta found a lucrative side hustle. In 2008, as Goldman Sachs stared at the wrath of the financial crisis, Warren Buffett planned to invest $5 billion into the bank to help it survive. As a Goldman board member, Jupiter learned of this transaction before the public. It was valuable information. Goldman's survival was in doubt, and Buffett's backing would surely send its stock soaring. 16 seconds after learning of this pending deal, Jupiter, who was dialed into the Goldman board meeting, hung up the phone and called a hedge fund manager named Raj Rajaratnam. The call wasn't recorded, but Rajaratnam immediately bought 175,000 shares of Goldman Sachs. So you can guess what was discussed. The Buffett-Goldman deal was announced to the public hours later. Goldman stock surged. Rajaratnam made a quick $1 million. That was just one example of an alleged trend. The SEC claims Jupiter's insider tip led to $17 million in profits. It was easy money, and for prosecutors, it was an even easier case. Jupiter and Rajaratnam both went to prison for insider trading. Their careers and reputation irrevocably ruined. Now consider Bernie Madoff. His crime is well known. Madoff is the most notorious Ponzi schemer since Charles Ponzi himself. Madoff swindled investors for 2 decades before his crime was revealed, ironically just weeks after Jupiter's endeavor. What's overlooked is that Madoff, like Jupiter, was more than a fraudster. Before the Ponzi scheme that made Madoff famous, he was a widely successful and legitimate businessman. Madoff was a market maker, a job that matches buyers and sellers of stocks. He was very good at it. Here's how the Wall Street Journal described Madoff's market-making firm in 1992. He has built a highly profitable securities firm, Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities, which siphons a huge volume of stock trades away from the big board. The $740 million average daily volume of trades executed electronically by the Madoff firm off the exchange equals 9% of the New York exchange. Mr. Madoff's firm can execute trades so quickly and cheaply that it actually pays other brokerage firms a penny a share to execute their customers' orders, profiting from the spread between bid and ask prices that most stocks trade for. This is not a journal inaccurately describing a fraud yet to be uncovered. Madoff's market-making business was legitimate. A former staffer said the market-making arm of Madoff's business made between $25 million and $50 million per year. Bernie Madoff's legitimate, non-fraudulent business was by any measure a huge success. It made him hugely and legitimately wealthy. And yet, the fraud. The question we should ask of both Jupiter and Madoff is why someone worth hundreds of millions of dollars will be so desperate for more money that they risk everything in pursuit of even more. Crime committed of those living on the edge of survival is one thing. A Nigerian scam artist once told the New York Times that he felt guilty for hurting others, but poverty will not make you feel the pain. What Jupiter and Madoff did is something different. They already had everything, unimaginable wealth, prestige, power, freedom, and they threw it all away because they wanted more. They had no sense of enough. They are extreme examples, but there are non-criminal versions of this behavior. The hedge fund long-term capital management was staffed with traders personally worth tens and hundreds of millions of dollars each, with most of their wealth invested in their own funds. Then they took so much risk in the quest for more that they managed to lose everything in 1998, in the middle of the greatest bull market and strongest economy in history. Warren Buffett later put it, to make money they didn't have and didn't need, they risked what they did have and did need, and that is foolish. It is just plain foolish. If you risk something that is important to you for something that is unimportant to you, it just does not make any sense. There is no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. It is one of those things that is as obvious as it is overlooked. Few of us will ever have 100 million as Jupiter or Madoff did, but a measurable percentage of those reading this book will, at some point in their life, earn a salary or have a sum of money sufficient to cover every reasonable thing they need and a lot of what they want. If you're one of them, remember a few things. 1. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. But it is one of the most important. If expectations rise with results, there is no logic in striving for more because you'll feel the same after putting in extra effort. It gets dangerous when the taste of having more money, more power, more prestige increases ambition faster than satisfaction. In that case, one step forward pushes the goalpost 2 steps ahead. You feel as if you're falling behind, and the only way to catch up is to take greater and greater amounts of risk. Modern capitalism is a pro at two things: generating wealth and generating envy. Perhaps they go hand in hand. Wanting to surpass your peers can be the fuel of hard work, but life isn't any fun without a sense of enough. Happiness, as it is said, is just results minus expectations. Number 2, social comparison is the problem here. Consider a rookie baseball player who earns $500,000 a year. He is, by any definition, rich. But say he plays on the same team as Mike Trout, who has a 12-year, $430 million contract. By comparison, the rookie is broke. But then think about Mike Trout. $36 million per year is an insane amount of money. But to make it on the list of the top 10 highest paid hedge fund managers in 2018, you needed to earn at least $340 million in 1 year. That is who people like Trout might compare their incomes to. And the hedge fund manager who makes $340 million per year compares himself to the top 5 hedge fund managers who earned at least $770 million in 2018. Those top managers can look ahead to people like Warren Buffett, whose personal fortune increased by $3.5 billion in 2018. And someone like Buffett could look ahead to Jeff Bezos, whose net worth increased by $24 billion in 2018, a sum that equates to more per hour than the rich baseball player made in a full year. The point here is that the ceiling of social comparison is so high that virtually no one will ever hit it, which means it's a battle that can never be won, or that the only way to win is to not fight to begin with, to accept that you might have enough, even if it's less than those around you. A friend of mine makes an annual pilgrimage to Las Vegas. One year, he asked a dealer, "What games do you play, and what casinos do you play in?" The dealer, stone cold serious, replied, "The only way to win in a Las Vegas casino is to exit as soon as you enter." That is exactly how the game of trying to keep up with other people's wealth works too. Number 3, enough is not too little. The idea of having enough might look like conservatism, leaving opportunity and potential on the table. I don't think that's right. Enough is realizing that the opposite, an insatiable appetite for more, will push you to the point of regret. The only way to know how much food you can eat is to eat until you are sick. Few try this because vomiting hurts more than any meal is good. For some reason, the same logic doesn't translate to business and investing, and many will only stop reaching for more when they break and they are forced to. This can be as innocent as burning out at work or a risky investment allocation you can't maintain. On the other end, there's Rajat Guptas and Bernie Madoff in the world, who resort to stealing because every dollar is worth reaching for, regardless of consequences. Whatever it is, the inability to deny a potential dollar will eventually catch up to you. Lesson number 4. There are many things never worth risking, no matter the potential gain. After he was released from prison, Rajat Gupta told the New York Times he had learned a lesson. Don't get too attached to anything, your reputation, your accomplishments, or any of it. I think about it now. What does it matter? Okay, this thing unjustly destroyed my reputation. That's only troubling if I am so attached to my reputation. This seems like the worst possible takeaway from his experience, and what I imagine is the comforting self-justifications of a man who desperately wants his reputation back but knows it's gone. Reputation is invaluable. Freedom and independence are invaluable. Family and friends are invaluable. Being loved by those who you want to love you is invaluable. Happiness is invaluable. And your best shot at keeping these things is knowing when it's time to stop taking risks that might harm them. Knowing when you have enough. The good news is that the most powerful tool for building enough is remarkably simple and doesn't require taking risks that could damage any of these things. That is the next chapter.